Hey, you guys, it is Friday afternoon. I just wanted to hop on really quick. First of all, I wanted to thank everyone that participated in adding their friends to the group. I appreciate it. We have a winner, and they will be getting a free session with me. So that's so exciting. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who helped with that. That's number one. Number two, yesterday, as many of you know, I am a huge music fan, rock and roll music. And a couple months ago, one of our favorite singers had killed himself by hanging himself, Chris Cornell. And yesterday, the lead singer of Linkin Park, Chester Bennington, killed himself by hanging himself, which happened to be on Chris Cornell's birthday. So I'm sure very purposeful in that. But it just made me think about mental illness and the stigma that's attached to it, and that I would like to be the first person to try and break that stigma. I certainly don't think I'm weird. I am certainly not ashamed of the things that I've had to go through and things that I'm continuing to go through. I currently take medication for depression. I'm not ashamed of it. It's not something that I think is a bad thing. I find that for me, I feel like a very responsible mother. I feel like a very responsible sister, friend, everything as a result of taking medication. I can function at my normal level because I take medication. And I've said this before on my Facebook Lives that, medication is not for everyone. It's a big decision to make when whether or not to medicate yourself, your family, whatever it is. It is a huge decision whether or not to medicate yourself. But the decision is really no different than whether or not to medicate yourself for cancer or diabetes. It's an illness, and it's really no different. And I hope that people start to look at it that way. It requires a lot of love and patience from family members, and it requires them to sometimes step in and intervene and help the person, because sometimes the depression can be so debilitating that they can't even get themselves to a doctor. So I just want people to stop judging and start to understand. With that being said, does everyone need to medicate themselves? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sometimes you can change your lifestyle, your eating, you can start to meditate, you can get acupuncture. There are a lot of things that you can do in a natural way that quite possibly could help you. Happiness is a habit, and you have to get into the habit of being happy, and then it becomes more natural. But if you find that you just cannot do that, no matter what you do, you exercise, you eat correctly, you meditate, you do everything that you're supposed to be doing, that could be the time that medication could come into play. Maybe not permanently, maybe temporarily, until your body and mind get in the habit of doing those types of things, thinking that way. But that's for you and a healthcare provider to talk about. And coming from me, I want everyone to know that by no means am I pro-medication. I have a big problem with pharmaceutical companies and doctors that just dole out medications. I just took myself off Ativan and did it all by myself, and that was a dark, ugly time, I am here to tell you, but I got through it. And, life is not perfect. When my son was 2 years old, he got diagnosed with autism, and every single person I spoke to said to me, Elise, you better medicate yourself and get ready for the ride. And I didn't. And I waited several years, and then I did. And I am a better person to everyone in my life as a result of it. And I owe it to them and to myself to live the best life that I can. And if I need to medicate myself, then that's what has to be done. And I think that people need to feel less shame. So I want to get on and tell everybody that. And you know what? A lot of people judge when people medicate their children. And yes, people jump to it way too quickly. But sometimes it's the best thing that you can do for your child is to medicate them and give them the confidence to be able to function at a level that every other child is functioning. I had posted something, and actually someone posted on my timeline also, a child thanking their parent for having the courage to medicate them. And we suffer with this as parents. Are we, guilt-ridden? Why aren't we enough for our child? Why can't we figure this out enough? And you know what? Sometimes that's not the answer. That is just not the answer. Sometimes chemically, there is something in our brains or our children's brains that is different and requires different chemicals. So be kind to yourself and be kind to your children, and know the time that it is when to ask for help, when to get outside intervention, when you have an illness. And like I said, it is no different than cancer, than diabetes. We need to, as a community, bring this to the forefront. Insurance companies see it differently. There's a different copay, a different deductible. I mean, really, it's such bullshit. It's not even funny. But I just wanted to get on and say, hi, I'm not embarrassed. This is how I function productively and happily at this place in my life. So I hope it helps someone that is struggling, feeling sad, maybe have the courage to go to the doctor and see what they can do. And like I said, it's not for everyone, and it's not the first line of defense that people should be going to, but it is available and out there for people that that need it. And you got to stick with it, and it's not always easy, and it's a cocktail, and you have to take this with that, and it's kind of a drag, but it's like anything else when you're getting better. So that's all I wanted to say. Happy Friday to everybody. Have an amazing weekend. I love you all. Bye.